Welcome back to my channel. PUC second. Romeo and Juliet. One line by line explanation. Background summary. The text introduces Romeo and Juliet, two teenagers belonging to rival noble families in Verona, the Montagues and the Capulets. Lord Capulet hosts a party. Romeo, a Montague, sneaks in wearing a disguise to see a woman named Rosalind. However, at the party, he sees Juliet and is instantly mesmerized by her beauty. Later, Juliet is equally drawn to him, even after learning he is from her enemy's family. The verses below express their intense, immediate attraction to one another. Romeo's speech, Act I, Scene V. Romeo speaks these lines the very first time he lays eyes on Juliet at the dance. He is completely struck by her beauty. Oh, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. Explanation: Juliet is so radiant and beautiful that she outshines the torches in the room. She is literally teaching the fire how to be bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiopi's ear. Explanation: she stands out against the darkness of the night just like a sparkling, precious earring worn against the dark skin of an Ethiopian person. He is emphasizing the contrast of her bright beauty against the dark room. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. Explanation: her beauty is incredibly valuable, too rare to be touched or used every day, and too divine for this ordinary world. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. Explanation: comparing her to the other women in the room, she looks like a pure, brilliant white dove surrounded by ordinary, plain black crows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand. Explanation: when the current dance, the measure, is over, I will watch to see where she goes and stands. And, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Explanation: I will go and touch her hand, and in doing so, my rough, unworthy, rude, hand will be blessed by her touch. Did my heart love till now? Forswear it, sight. Explanation: he asks himself if he has ever truly known love before this moment. He tells his eyes to deny, forswear, any previous beauty he thought he saw, like his previous crush, Rosalind. For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night. Explanation: because he realizes he has never seen genuine, true beauty until tonight. Juliet's speech, Act 3, Scene 2. Juliet speaks these lines while waiting impatiently in her room for nightfall, which is when Romeo has promised to secretly visit her. Come night, come Romeo, come, thou day and night. Explanation: Juliet is eagerly calling for the night to arrive so Romeo can come to her. She calls him her day and night because he brings light, joy, and brightness to her darkness. For thou wilt lie upon the wings of night whiter than new snow on a raven's back. Explanation: when Romeo arrives under the cover of darkness, he will stand out as brightly and purely as fresh white snow resting on the dark black feathers of a raven. Come, gentle night, come, loving, black-browed night. Explanation: she personifies the night, begging it to come quickly. She describes it as gentle, loving, and having dark skies, black-browed. Give me my Romeo, and when I shall die. Explanation: she asks the night to bring Romeo to her now. She then imagines the end of her life. Take him and cut him out in little stars. Explanation: after she dies, she wants the night to take Romeo and turn him into a constellation of stars in the sky. And he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night. Explanation: Romeo's brightness will make the night sky, the face of heaven, look so incredibly beautiful that everyone in the world will fall in love with the nighttime. And pay no worship to the garish Sunday. Explanation: because the night will be so beautiful with Romeo as the stars, people will stop paying attention to the harsh, overly bright, garish sun of the daytime. 1 Mark WH questions and answers. 1. Where is the story of Romeo and Juliet set? Verona. 2. Who hosted the Grand Supper? Old Lord Capulet. 3. Why did Romeo attend the supper hosted by his enemy? To see Rosaline. 4. How did Romeo manage to attend the Capulets' supper safely? He attended in disguise. 5. Whom does Romeo see on the dance floor? Juliet. 6. What is the relationship between the Capulets and the Montagues? They are sworn enemies, rival families. 7. Who is the father of the girl Romeo sees on the dance floor? Lord Capulet. 8. What does Romeo say Juliet teaches the torches to do? To burn bright. 9. Where does Romeo imagine Juliet hanging? Upon the cheek of night. 10. What does Romeo compare Juliet's beauty to regarding an Ethiope? A rich jewel in an Ethiope's ear. 11. Which bird does Romeo compare Juliet to? A snowy dove. 12. Whom does Romeo compare Juliet's companions, fellows, to? Crows. 13. What does Romeo plan to do when the measure is done? He plans to watch her place of stand. 14. What part of his body does Romeo describe as rude? His hand. 15. What does Romeo ask his sight to forswear? That his heart loved anyone before this night. 16. Whom does Juliet address as thou day and night? Romeo. 17. Where does Juliet say Romeo will lie? Upon the wings of night. 18. What dark bird is mentioned in Juliet's speech? A raven. 19. What does Juliet want the night to do with Romeo when she dies? Cut him out in little stars. 20. What will the world pay no worship to, according to Juliet? The garish sun. 2 Mark questions and answers. 1. Who were the sworn enemies in Verona? The Capulets. And the Montagues. 2. Why did Romeo attend Lord Capulet's supper? He wore a disguise. He went to see Rosaline. 3. What happens after Romeo sees Juliet dance? He is fascinated by her beauty. He learns she is a Capulet. 4. What does Romeo say Juliet teaches the torches? To burn bright. She outshines them entirely. 5. Where does Romeo imagine Juliet hanging? Upon the cheek of night. Like a rich jewel. 6. How does Romeo describe Juliet's beauty regarding the earth? Too rich for use. Too dear for earth. 7. What bird imagery does Romeo use for Juliet and her friends? A snowy dove. Trooping with crows. 8. What does Romeo intend to do when the measure is done? Watch where she stands. Touch her hand. 9. Why does Romeo want to touch Juliet's hand? To bless his rude hand. To make it holy. 10. What does Romeo ask his eyes to do? Forswear previous love. He hadn't seen true beauty before. 11. How does Juliet describe Romeo's presence in the dark? As day and night. Whiter than new snow. 12. Where does Juliet say Romeo will rest? Upon the wings of night. Like snow on a raven's back. 13. What terms does Juliet use to call the night? Gentle night. Loving, black-browed night. 14. What does Juliet ask the knight to do when she dies? Take Romeo. Cut him into little stars. 15. What will Romeo do to the face of heaven? Make it completely fine. Make it incredibly beautiful. 16. How will the world react to Romeo turning into stars? They will love the night. They will ignore the sun. 17. How does Juliet describe the sun? As the garish sun. It is overly bright. 18. What is the central theme expressed in both verses? Implicit romantic feelings. Immediate love at first sight. 19. To which family did Romeo belong? The Montague family. The rivals of the Capulets. 20. What event did Lord Capulet host? A grand supper. Romeo attended it covertly. 4 new words and their meanings. Word. English meaning. Kannada meaning. Noble. Belonging to a high social class, aristocratic. Sworn enemies. People who have made a firm resolve to hate each other. Disguise. Concealing one's identity by altering appearance. Fascinated. Strongly attracted and completely engrossed. Implicit. Suggested or understood without being stated directly. Doth. Old English for does. Ethiopia. An African/a dark-skinned person. Trooping. Walking or moving together in a group. Yonder. Over there, situated at a distance. Measure. In this context, a dance or a specific dance rhythm. Rude. Rough, unrefined, or coarse. Forswear. Agree to give up or do without, formally reject or deny. Raven. A large heavily built crow with totally black plumage. Garish. Obtrusively bright, harsh, and showy, lurid. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, comment.